Good morning, everybody. I meant to be in here about 5 o'clock this morning, but I'm running just a little bit late this morning, so I'm going to do a quick go through of this book, but I cannot tell you how excited I am to show you this book. I have had so much fun with this book. I don't know, I have a grandma style, and then I have a cutesy style that kind of is a grandma style, but the grandma books are, it's just like you're walking through a woods and you see an old cabin and you go into the cabin, blah, blah, blah. And the rocker, Grandma's rocker, is still in the cabin, and there's an old stack of books beside Grandma's rocker. And the grandma books are the books you would find beside that rocker. They're just old things Grandma has collected in a really old, aged book. And I love, love, love making those books. And I love making the big ones. And that, in spite of the cost of them, that is the one that most people or so many people seem to want. But there is so much time in that book. And, I just can't stay focused. I have ADHD and I'm OCD, and so it's so hard for me to stay focused to do a big book, but I love doing the big books, and I love doing these little books. I don't love doing the cutesy ones so much, but so many people want one with all rabbits or one, with all cutesy stuff in it. But it's the ones that are really old. Now, this book looks old. It's not really a grandma book with a lot of grandma wisdom in it, but there is such great stuff in this book. This is a book you could easily spend not an afternoon with, but a day with. And it's just, and then you have a big bag, a grandma bag underneath with some goodies in that. So let's just open it up and get to it. I haven't got my lighting changed over my table yet. Maybe I can do that today. I don't know. And that looks like it's got a green tint in this camera. Good heavenly day. Well, let's see if I can raise this up just a little bit more with another book. See, Linda, this is the way you do it. You don't wait till everything is perfect. You just go with the flow. I don't have a good setup either. And I ordered some stuff, but I don't know. I haven't got it rigged up and ready, and I don't know. Still working on my craft room. But this book, okay, let's get back to the book. Now let's lay this grandma bag aside. Look at that grandma's bag. And that is mostly stuff to make a book like this. You have the startings of that in this book here, and we'll go through that kind of in just a minute. But this is the front of the book. I hope you can see it okay. I started out, I thought, I see so many people. Oh my gosh, hold on. I don't know about you all, but in southern Illinois, we have what we call these monster bugs. And it's those big flat bugs that are everywhere all over the United States right now. And nothing thrills me more than to get one in a paper towel and put it under a running water, because they do not like water. So they are terrorizing me. I like to terrorize them. So I got the bug. Okay. I love doing the grandma books. I love doing all of the books with these this old style. But I see so many people posting videos, or quite a few, not a lot. I'm nobody, but I see quite a few people posting videos of what they're calling their Kay Comer book. So, and I think that's neat. That just thrills me to death. And I help people. We have free classes. If you want to learn to do this age style, I'll do anything I can to help you come up with it and get it to look just like mine, and you can. But I thought, Jenny Miller is the one that got me started, because her video was the first one I found by accident. And I just felt like that was a God thing. And then I got to thinking about, so many are making a Kay Comer book. I think I'd like to try to make a Jenny Miller book. She has a style, you can just spot it a mile away. So this is not a Jenny Miller book. It started out that way. The front looks kind of Jenny Miller. But then Kay Comer's brain took over, and so we go from there. So let's just go inside and see what we've got here. I can't stand a blank spot. There's just so much stuff, and I'm not going to go through all of it, all of the pockets and envelopes and stuff, because we'd be here all day. But let's just go through it here. There's just a bunch of things in this pocket right here, just readings, and there's a little, I did forget to put Jenny Miller envelopes in here and Jenny Miller tuck spots. So I did a lot wrong to try to be making a Jenny Miller book. It is nowhere near a Jenny Miller book. But this says, all that is gold does not glitter, not all those who are wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. I hope I can read just a few of these quotes because I got a few unique ones, very unique ones in here today. And I have cataracts. You know, I'm 75 yesterday. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can be looking at the page. But I've studied holistic health and wellness for 45 years now. And I studied for a year under a naturopathic couple and locally. And they had a product they called Dr. Christopher's Eye Bright. And if you have cataracts, if you use those drops, I don't know of a time when it hasn't worked, but for most people, it will dissolve your cataracts. So 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with cataracts, and I was told that within a year I would have to have the surgery in both eyes. So I started using the Dr. Christopher's. Well, 6 years later, and my vision is just as good as it was back then. I do get the cataracts start forming, and I just use the drops. It takes about a week. You use the drops every day. Anybody wants to do that, if you have cataracts, just message me. We'll go to it in a private message. It's very simple. You just put the drops in your eyes 4 times a day, and it dissolves your cataracts. And I judge the progress I'm making by the menu on the TV at night when I sit down, because some nights I can't read breaking news, the big letters. If I let it go too long. But start using these drops, and by day 3, there is super improvement, and by the end of the week, I can read the small print that tells what the show is about. So it does work. Just message me if you want more on that. I don't sell anything. It's on Amazon, $10. Okay, this is just a little envelope. This is just a little old-timey image. You know, almost every spot is covered. I don't like blank spots. Just everything in here. This is an envelope. I wanted to do some different quotes in here because so many people, or several people, are collecting these books, and you know you can't keep collecting books with the same quotes in it. So if you're wanting to spend a day with it. So I wanted to do some fun quotes and little poems and things. And I don't know if I can read these or not. I'll try. Yes, I can see this pretty good. See, this is working. So this is just funny poems, little kids' poems, and but they're so enjoyable to read, and they take you back to a simpler time when most of us, or many of us, grew up. I was born in the 40s and mid-40s, and grew up my childhood in the 40s and 50s, and to me, it was a storybook time. Some people don't like to hear me say that because it was a hard time, especially for our parents. But to the kids growing up in the 40s and 50s, oh my goodness, kids today, oh my gosh. But let's just read this poem, just a little bit of it. It says, "I cannot go to school today," said little Peggy Ann McKay. "I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet and my throat is dry, and I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks, and I've counted 16 chicken pox." And it just goes on and on. So it's fun stuff like that. Let's see what a couple of more are. "If I were in charge of the world," this is a child saying this, "if I were in charge of the world, I'd cancel oatmeal and Monday mornings and allergy shots, and also Sarah Steinberg." Now, I don't know who Sarah Steinberg is. There's another monster bug. And she may be political. I don't know who she is. That's getting my tissue out of the way. I got the monster bug. But if I were in charge of the world, there'd be brighter night lights and healthier hamsters and basketball baskets 48 inches lower, and that goes on. And there's just such sweet stuff in here. This says, "I have a little secret. Look inside the word before. Can you find some little word like be and for and or? I want to be a detective in a near or faraway land. But for now, I'll just search words to find and an and hand." And that's another one with just and then there's that. Let's see. And this is, and there's quite a few. I don't know how many I put in here. It's quite a few, just funny, heartwarming stories, little poems and things. This is, "Be glad your nose is on your face, not pasted on some other place. For if it were where it is not, you might dislike your nose a lot." And then that goes on and on. So I don't know what all is in here, but it's some good little readings, just to put a smile on your face and make you go, "Oh, wow, I love that." There's a bunny for those that like bunnies. There is a bunny in the book. This is just some little quotes on a tag. that just hangs over. This is where I was practicing on one of those books that I'm working on now, where you know, it just looks like it's been through World War II or III or IV or V. I like these books. I'm working on one now, and I think what they are called is passport books. But mine always turn out to be not a passport book because I keep doing them wrong. I don't know. They start out gruff like this, but the next thing I know, I've got a cute page, and they're not supposed to be cutesy. I think they're supposed to be kind of gruff and rough. Okay, there's my clock. Collect moments, not things. There's my clothespin. Love those clothespins. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. And then this is just a tag. Okay, and then this big love. Be the reason someone smiles today. What a good thing to do every single day, just to be the reason someone smiles that day. Bingo page, fun, ABCs. And this is another little, I just made a little booklet out of a big paper doily, and there's just some readings and things in that. And then this is just a little, I love this poem. It says, what if I read you a story starting once upon a time and you realized that it was your life spelt out in every line? I love, love, love that. And I put that in a lot of books, and I love that image, and I put that on the other side and just make a little tag kind of out of it. And there's some more rabbits for you rabbit lovers. Oh, I wasn't in frame. Oh, heavenly day. There's some Sweet Annie out of my garden. Just some corrugated cardboard. So I had that clipped on here. And then here's another one over here clipped on, and it says, so much joy in this little boy. It's talking about this little boy right here. And then there's another little reading on the back. I'm not getting half of this in frame, and I'm so sorry. I'm so rushed because I was running so late this morning, and I've got so much to do today. Love this page. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. There's just lots and lots of readings in this book. It really is a treasure, and I don't mean anything arrogant by saying that. You know, sometimes I get these books done, and I don't want to let them go myself. I think, well, I don't care if it sells or not, and I don't any time. I mean, I don't do it for money, but if I'm going to sell them most of the time, I do have to, you know, pay for my time if I can, like everybody else is doing. This is a grandma bag, and it is just a neat little bag. It's full of a lot of things you would need to make one of these books, including a blank book. And that book right there, this book right here, started out just like this. So you've got the startings. I'm going to lay it aside for right now because I need to put it back in there more carefully. There's some Sweet Annie from my garden. This, let's see. There's a little bag with some odds and ends in it, some ropes and some ribbons, ropes, and buttons, and I don't know what all's in there. This is a little poem. I hope to, not a poem, but a little pamphlet. I hope to start putting in all of my books in a pocket or something. And I just made this myself out of the book that I have. I bought this book many years ago, and it is, the name of the book on Amazon or on eBay would be 29 Gifts, How a Month of Giving Can Change Your Life. And let me tell you, that drew me in because, you know, those of you that have followed me for very long know that I am a giver. I love to give. The house next door was robbed and ransacked a couple of weeks ago, and the deputy came over here, one of them, to see if we had seen anything, and he said he'd actually been looking at that house. It's for sale. He'd been looking at it to buy it, and Geezer told him, he said, well, you couldn't do better than living next door to this old woman because she is a giver. She'd be bringing you food till you'd be having to run her off. I do love to give. I love. I don't know what it is about it because I have no time to be cooking for somebody else in my kitchen. It's all I can do to get from morning to night some days, but I just love to do that. But this is 29 Gifts of Giving, and this is a woman had a neighbor, and the neighbor was in such bad health, and she told her the things she needed to do. One thing she needed to do to get in better health was try to get her mind off of her health and get it on other people. And she asked her to do a challenge, 29 days of giving, and for 29 days she was to give one small thing, one small gift to anybody at random, not somebody in her own household, but somebody out and about. She could send a card, she could offer a mint to somebody coughing in church or a cough drop. just any little thing. Make a pie, just any little thing. There's so many things you can do. A meal to somebody that's less fortunate than you. A call from somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Just so many things. Just a sincere compliment at the grocery store. So I started doing this once a year because 29 days, you have to do 29 days in a row. And so 29 days, I usually did it in November. I haven't started it this November because I've got a lot going on, just trying to catch up from lost time this summer. But for 29 days, for several years in a row, until last year, I would start the 1st of November and I would do something for somebody every day. And I'm telling you, that was the best feeling in the world. And then sometimes toward the end of the day, I'm so used to doing and giving for other people, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way either, but I am. Sometimes toward the end of the day, I think, oh my goodness, it's almost the end of today, and what I got to do something for somebody. And then I would realize I had done something for 2 or 3 people during the day, across the miles or whatever, a phone call or something. And so that makes it become a habit. 29 days of doing something, they say 28 or 29, makes it become a habit. So it's just a great thing. So there's just ideas. Note of appreciation to your mail carrier. I tell about putting things out for our trash guy. He has a lunch bag, a picnic bag, every Monday when he comes to pick up our trash. And it has sandwiches in it, 2 ice-cold Cokes, and it's put in a cooler so they'll stay cold and the sandwich will stay good. And then cupcakes or cookies or something, and peppermint mints and things like that. I've done that all during the pandemic, and I started doing it when the pandemic hit because I realized they couldn't even stop and get something to eat. But I still do it. And he's told my husband over and over, he said, you have no idea how much I appreciate how your wife does that for you. This is the highlight of my day or my week, many weeks. But so send a friend a small gift anonymously. Take a box of donuts or other treats to the police station, the nurse's station at the hospital. Write a note to someone who's influenced your life and tell them so. Bake someone a favorite dessert and take it to them. Find a friend that's having a hard time and send them a gift card. Find a needy family that can't afford treats and take them a big bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I've done all these things. Even taken things to the nurse's station. Now, I haven't been to the police station because you all know I'm nosy there. One of those monster bugs. You all know I'm nosy, and I do kind of interfere with them if I think they're going wrong. Yes, if I think they've missed something, I will call and tell them. So I don't think I'm going in there with a treat bag. But I have done it at the nurse's station and at the doctor's office. I've taken them big cookie boxes, homemade stuff. So, so many things. Buy meals for a family. So Thanksgiving and Christmas, I do 2 people every Thanksgiving and every Christmas. And, leave change at the vending machine for someone else to find later. So many things. There's that monster bug trying to attack me. We're going to get out of here in just a minute, and he can go fly a kite. He's going down the commode. That's where he's going. He's going swimming. Give fruit or a muffin basket to an elderly friend. There are so many things. This whole thing is just a list of simple things that won't cost you hardly any money. There's some ideas over here. One thing I love doing, and I haven't done this in a long time, but I did this my first year. I would just go park at the gas station and watch for somebody to come up that, to put a little gas in their car. And I picked older men, or, I don't mean old like senior like me, but, like dads that maybe are going to work or coming from work, and they look rough and rugged and like they've had a hard day, and they don't have on a coat and tie. They've got on work clothes, and their hands are all black from working all day and all this, and they look so tired and beat. And so I like to park and watch for somebody like that, or I did that year, and I haven't done that since. And they just put $10 in their car. Go over there and say, don't put $2 in your car. Go ahead and put 10, and I'm going to cover it. And I tell them I'm doing a challenge. I'm not just a crazy nice person. I'm doing a challenge. I have to do something nice for somebody today, and you're helping me as much as I'm helping you by letting me help you, because that takes care of my gift for today. And we always have a good laugh about it, things like that. It's just a nice thing. So there's just all kind of things there. Some fabric, some extra paper, all those little goodies down in there. I want to show you this. I tried to buy some of these. One of our friends in the grandma group makes these, or did make them, and I was wanting to buy some because I think this will make a cute little gift. It's a clothespin under there, and you just wrap ribbon or lace or whatever all around it, and then make her a bonnet out of a little rag, and then you've got a little person or an angel or something in a rag bonnet. Or a scarf or something. They're just as cute as a button, so you've got one of those in there. I hope she didn't mind me making them, but I did try to make some, buy some from her, and she said she just hadn't, she sold out and she hadn't made any more, and she didn't know if she would. So, okay, that's it for today. We got 20 minutes. Oh, my good heavenly day. I'm going to get this posted. I wish people would tell their prices on their videos, because what is the secret? Everybody knows we're here most of the time to sell a book. And then people have to hunt you down. You have to go try out in the yard and try to catch a pigeon and tie a note around his neck and say, fly due north and take this to so-and-so. Let's find this secret price on this book. But anyway, just message me below. Find me on Facebook, Kay Comer on Facebook. My profile picture is our wedding picture from 1967, so that'll be easy to spot. I'm in a wedding dress. And then the top of my page is just a bunch of junk journal books. Message me there. I run the group, started the group and run it, and I have help from Nancy, Debbie, and Mary now, and I couldn't do it without them now because we've grown to almost 2,400 people. And that's not a lot compared to some of the groups, but we're growing fast. But junk journals from Grandma with Love. So if you're in that group, you can tag me there or message me privately or whatever, post under the video. Just anything. I want to say how much I'm going to put on this, but I hate to do it on the thing. It's affordable. I don't do anything that's not affordable except when somebody asks for one of the big 250 books or $200 books, and I have made a lot of those, and I have some requests downstairs on my notebook saying if you ever make another one, I want first dibs, but I just hate to do that because I couldn't pay $200 for a book. I'm not sure we paid that for my first car in 1964, but anyway, that's it. I'm going to get off here, get busy. I'm going to work on that book that I've got going downstairs now, and it started out to be a passport book, real grungy and shabby, and looked like it had been through World War II. But it's turning into not a passport book again. I don't know how that's happening. I'm trying to fix it. But that's going to be a neat book, and I'm putting readings in mind because I don't want to ever offer anything that is just eye candy. I want it to serve a purpose. I want you all to have a place to write, and there's places to write in here. There's a couple of notebooks and things in here. There's quite a bit that you didn't see, but I just, I get too carried away with my blabbing. So instead of doing what I'm here to do. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to get off of here. You got quite a bit of creepy cloth in here to give away. Up there in the book bag to work on a book. I'm going to get off here. Just message me. Find me anyhow you want to, any old way you want to. Comment down below if you can't find me, and I'll be watching. So this is up for grabs, and I'm going to get off here and get busy. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a super duper rainy groovy day. I hope you get a little kindness and spread a little kindness absolutely everywhere you go. And love and hugs.